Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be going over the One Piece chapter 1124 brief spoilers. So there isn't much, unfortunately, but we get a lot of interesting things. And to be honest, it's going to be one of those chill chapters, right? At least that's what I think. I don't think it's going to be like this crazy fighting type of chapter because Egghead is pretty much finished and we're moving on to Elbaf, and I'm so excited because we've been waiting like 25 years plus. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. So the title for this chapter is called Best Friend, and in the cover story, we seen Yamato save a woman's life, which it's Yamato, of course. That's an Odin-like thing to do, so of course she would save someone's life. It makes total sense. Starting off, Morgan attempts to share the news about Kid losing to Shanks, Law losing to Blackbeard, and Luffy, but Vivi gets into a fight with him to stop it. I'm guessing she doesn't want Luffy and the rest of the crew to look bad in front of the world, because most likely that's how it's going to end up. Unfortunately, Big News Morgans gets a lot of faulty or fake information, and by fake I mean everything is set up and covered up, right? The world government does not want to make themselves look like they're bad. Eventually, though, the dawn will come and the rest of the world will see how evil the world government is, along with all the Gorosei and hopefully Emu. And this one is kind of shocking to me because I don't think the world government and the Marines necessarily failed here. Sure, the message went out, but they got York, they got the Mother Flame, all the Vegapunks are dead aside from Lilith and Yorks. Now, this is an interesting point, to be honest. I did not think Akainu would get this salty over this, but I guess he's mad at Kizaru. Akainu contacts Egghead and Kizaru answers. Akainu accuses Kizaru of failing in Egghead, but Kizaru angrily responds with tears in his eyes. Have you ever killed your best friend before? If you doubt me, come here and check it out for yourself. I'm gonna be honest, Akainu's kind of a rude person. Like, Kizaru tried his best. Not to mention, if he failed, then the five Gorosei also failed. There was five of them, and they couldn't pack up one crew and some giants. They have no excuse. In my opinion, to be honest, I think Kizaru did a fine job. It wasn't like the best job or anything, but he didn't fail, I don't think. Vegapunk ended up dead. That was their goal. He's dead. So I think Kizaru did a pretty good job, to be honest. All right, now the scene does shift to the Straw Hats, who are kind of upset because they believe they failed to rescue Vegapunk. However, Lilith wakes up and reassures them, revealing that they didn't fail because she is Vegapunk. In this case, Lilith is also Vegapunk. So when you think about it, sure, she's just a piece of Vegapunk, but she still is a Vegapunk, and one ended up escaping while York is still alive, but at least one got away. I'm happy that one did survive. And to be honest, I think Lilith is my favorite of all the satellites aside from Stella. For some reason, I just really like her, and she fits very well with the Straw Hats, so we could see her possibly joining the crew, but I don't think the possibility is that high, to be honest. Now, this last point is very interesting. I did not expect this. I don't even know who this is. I'll show you who it could be, I guess. But there's a chance we've never met this character, or maybe we have. I have a guess. I think it's Scopper, Gabon, or Shiki. That's just who it looks like to me. Like, it resembles them the most, just with like how the hair is and all that. The chapter ends with the Straw Hat celebrating with Lilith as they head towards Elbaf. In the final panel, a silhouette is shown drinking on the coast of Elbaf, saying, "Come," right? So from this, we can infer that whoever this person is probably waiting for Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats. I can't see who else they'd be waiting for. It just makes the most sense that they are waiting for Luffy. So I'm kind of excited to find out who this is. I thought it was Saul initially, but I'm going to show you something here that most likely means it's probably not Saul. That was just my initial guess, to be honest. It just made most sense if it was Saul. But let's move on down here. And this is from Pewpiece, so shout out to Pewpiece. And here's what he says here. First, he says, the page where Kizaru is crying and angry because of Akainu's word is incredible. So I guess it's an amazing panel, and I cannot wait to see it. We're probably going to have to wait till Thursday to get at least some raws, or maybe the entire chapter, leaked, by the way. As for the silhouette at the end, you can't clearly see who the person is. It's a small panel with little details. It's going to be really hard to make a guess with how the panel is. Pewpiece does say, I don't think it's Saw, mainly because when Oda showed him during Vegapunk's message, it was clear that it was him, even though we didn't see his face. It would be absurd to hide him this way now when we know he's in Elbaf. And I do agree. Saw is at Elbaf. The Vegapunks confirmed it, and we just know he's there with the flashback of O'Hara and Saul. and the other giants collecting the books from O'Hara to send him over to Elbaf. So it makes sense. Most likely it's not Saul. I was hoping for it to be Saul, but it might be like a wild card character. So the final thing Pew Piece does say, it feels to me like it might be the guy who was drinking with Crocus in that cover story, but that's just my impression. And when you look at the hairstyle and the clothing, the first person I thought of actually was Shiki, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing it's actually Shiki. It could be, right? With how his clothing is, look how similar that is. It probably, maybe, I'm going to say it's a 50-50 shot that it's Shiki, but it could also be, and I know this is kind of a weird person to bring up because the clothing doesn't match, but when you look at the hair here, and you go over to the picture, it's kind of similar, not exactly. It could be Shiki though, and it would make sense as to why Crocus is drinking with him because he fought Roger many times. Crocus was on Roger's crew, so it could be a possibility it's Shiki, but it also could be somebody that we would never expect. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if there's anything I can improve on in my videos, please let me know below.